That was a little short. I thought maybe it was your opportunity to audition.
Well, that was a
Mr. Jordan.
symphony. That was my new symphony.
It's beautiful.
It's called Brief.
Thank you, Bill King.
Yes, it was.
Marc Jordan is in studio with us. He'll be appearing at Hughes Room May 16th. An interactive concert features an hour performance followed by an art exhibit showcase of his flat music, abstract art. Flat music. We were talking earlier with a woman from, there's this big event going on here.
With Pat Silver from Sing.
Yeah, the a cappella festival.
Yeah.
Talking about how incredibly talented these people are and how difficult it is, and how many of these musicians, these singers that you see now, if you told them, okay, drop the musicians behind you and sing, they would fall flat in their face.
Yeah. Oh no, that's a difficult thing to do.
Yeah.
Difficult thing to do. Even the groups, the singing groups like Manhattan Transfers of that have bands and stuff. It's so hard.
Individually, not as strong.
No, you're right.
Absolutely.
But they have the voices that blend, right?
Blend beautifully.
But they're not soloists. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
It's a different animal.
Yeah.
Now, last time you were here, you were talking to me about, you were telling us how you and Amy Scott, your wife, are working on a Broadway musical.
Yeah.
How's it coming along?
It's coming along great. It's such a huge process.
I would imagine it would be.
Oh, man. We've been working on it for 8 years, I believe, now. And we just got a Broadway producer, Junkyard Dog. And so once that happened, a whole new set of rewrites, and their book is being expanded in certain areas and shortened in others.
And what is it in regards to? What is?
It's called Lulu the Acrobat now, and it's about an acrobat who falls in love with a sort of a revolutionary guy, and it takes place between the wars in Europe in a flea bag kind of circus. And
Sounds like Hemingway to me.
yeah, it has a kind of darkness, and
Oh, yeah.
you know, it's it has that era thing, and there'll be some, you know, acrobatics but it's basically a love story, and but it's a.
But what's more challenging? Is it more challenging writing the music and the lyrics, or is it just the speech that goes on, the dialogue?
Well, I'm not writing that. There's a book writer.
There's a book writer
Yeah.
specifically for that.
Yeah, but I have to reflect that or foreshadow it in the lyric, and I'm not that good, to tell you the truth. Well, for sure, I'm not that good at writing to specific storylines. I gotta kind of make it up as I go, so I rely a lot on Amy and Steve McKinnon, who's the other.
At least
writer.
he's honest now, Bill.
Yeah.
That's good about it.
Yeah.
No, I really do. But I love doing it. It's a real learning experience. But it's.
Would you do it again?
I don't know if I'll live that long. You know, I do. You know, going out and doing a concert, that's like a piece of cake now.
And painting is just the place where you just lose yourself.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about any of this.
Nothing.
Just paint.
It's just a
Now,
solitary.
I got a question for
Yeah.
you. You saw in this new liberal budget,
Huge.
yes, $45 million are supposed to be set aside for the arts.
Yes.
Any thoughts on that, where that should go? I mean, we've had the discussion online. Some said, in the fact that it shouldn't go to traditional agencies. It should be something new, because we have to figure out how to get the arts money in the community where we put people in seats.
Well, that's
that's been the big issue, to really, get people out to see.
Well, it was
people.
when I heard that, I thought, well, this is a good move, but I thought, okay, now how are you going to implement
That's
this?
the issue.
And I worry that if the government said, well, we'll start up our own little branch here within the government, they'll completely screw it up. Because governments are really good at
But where do you give the money to?
I don't know. I
Because there's
don't know.
already existing things, and I think we have to have a new formula.
well. What is it though? I mean,
That's what it needs to be defined.
Yeah, I mean, the industry's going in two directions. I mean, you can't duplicate the live performance
Right.
in a lot of ways. But then, so there's that's the concert thing, which is terrific, and people go out and and hopefully they'll continue to go out. But then there's things like Stage It, where you can sit in your living room and do a live informal thing
Right.
from your, in your living room, and it goes out on the web around the world.
Like what Daryl Hall's doing,
Kind of like what
which
Daryl's,
is fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, what about we were talking earlier in regards to the fact that music in schools is fading out? I mean, should some of that money go into the education?
I think they have to take and employ artists to go into the school.
Yeah, but actually,
A variety of
pay
artists.
them to do it.
Yes, yeah, not volunteer.
No.
They should be paid out of that budget, I think.
We just did a thing in Hamilton last night,
Yeah.
Amy and I, to raise money for an arts program at an art school in Hamilton. And I agree, it's being cut back in the public schools. And I think the science is clear that it's good for your brain.
Yeah.
Right.
Music is good for your brain. The visual arts are good for your brain, and they help you learn.
Well, there was this article this week about the school system in the States where the principal fired the maintenance men and hired people to teach the arts.
Really?
And it's been going on, and
He
all of a
hired
sudden,
who, sorry?
he hired musicians, he hired artists to build an arts department rather than the maintenance. And all of a sudden, the kids are there, they're attentive, the scores went up, and things radically changed within that school system.
Well, what concerns me, and my kids are already through the educational system, other than post-secondary, is the disappearance of sports,
Right.
and the disappearance of, well, not completely, but of music. Two key elements.
You're absolutely right,
Two
Ted, and they both should
key
be there.
elements in the maturation process.
You're right.
Absolutely.
And because they
Absolutely.
require you to be social. You have to interact.
Well, there's a certain amount of teamwork.
Yes.
As well. I mean, and it's just, and obviously, it's just good. They're both good for your head.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And
Worries me.
I don't know.
So I don't know. Should some of this?
What are they
45
replacing it with? More,
I looked at it and it said it's
Computer
something.
sciences.
Well, they said some of it would be independent music, this and that. I think they'll think it out, but I think they did a study, and I think they consulted about 300,000 surveyed of Ontarians, and this was a big item because it brings in about $300 million a year. The music, and just in Ontario.
Does it really?
The offshoot of this, the kind of dollars. So if you invest, 45, you're bringing in, you're going to do even better. But it's how do you export the music of Ontario? How do you connect all this together to get people out there? Because, see, like we were just talking about Marc's new album, I just said, we were talking, I'm recording a download.
Yeah. Well,
And
that's it.
that's kind of where it's at. So how do we get past that to bring value back to the arts?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess there is no money, from what I understand. Speaking to you guys and a lot of musicians over the years, I mean, that's sort of that whole concept of making money by recording something is it's fantasy.
Well,
land.
I look at my daughter, and she's a wonderful writer and singer, but she's doing so much. She has to do her website. She has to do.
That's right.
She has to promote herself in a myriad of ways, and she gets to her guitar about 11 at night, and I remember thinking years ago that although the old school record companies, they used to steal from you for sure. There's no
Yes.
doubt about
Yeah.
that. We all know that. But they did give you money to do what you do. You did have the money.
Yeah.
So as they gave Neil Young or whoever some money to live on, he could jump in his Cadillac hearse, drive across the country, and lo and behold, a lot of beautiful songs were written. Would those songs ever have been written today? I don't think so, because it's all about the business now.
Yeah.
And you were allowed. You did have enough money. When I was in it at the beginning, you had enough money. Not a lot of money, but you had enough money to be able to do what you do.
Yeah.
You want to borrow my handkerchief?
It's sad.
It's
Very sad.
Well, always good to see you.
Great to see you.
Always good to see you.
Yeah, next time you come bring your paintbrushes and we'll play some.
Well, maybe music is just visual art for the radio,
Wow.
or not.
Oh, Ted,
Wow, that's heavy.
he's
That's heavy. Write that down. We'll get to it later. Marc Jordan appearing at Hughes Room May 16th, along with his Paint by Numbers. And Zoe's here in a couple of weeks, I guess.
Yes.
My wife's at Hughes' room too, on the 12th, I think, Mother's Day.
Well, she was here 2 weeks ago, and we have one more child, don't you?
Yeah, I do. He'll be here. I'll just send it over. as soon as
Have you given him an
Any
instrument yet?
cousins or neighbors that you need to come on the show? Just look at it as
I don't know what I'd do without you.
It's just a place for the Jordans.
Yeah.
All right, stick around. The author of the new Trailside Cookbook.